Oh, I hate when this happens. Okay. Back on that Persona grind. Okay. Let's get back to it.
Been searching all along.
14. Okay. So we're gonna get rank 10 here now.
Without a sign, without grasping it, the real question to be asked. Where have
We should do some laundry maybe. Do I have any good laundry to wash?
I lose masquerade, hiding both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a shapeshifter. What else should I be? Please don't take off my mask. Reveal
Okay.
Tell me it's true.
Actually, I don't think.
Come on.
I think we're just better off selling all that shit.
Moments of calm, nothing left to be found. A mirror
What's the
right in
social?
front of me. That's where I found an empty glass.
I'm going to the church with
Something
the top.
that's a truth.
Sorry, but you're coming along too.
Telling words not to be told. I need them back.
Why are you going there?
I'm a shapeshifter.
All right then.
Be ready in 3 minutes.
I always think about Wakaba on the anniversary of her death, but it's been a while since I visited. I've been so busy with the shop and all. No, that's not it. The guilt is what kept me from coming. I thought Wakaba would be angry with me. But now that I managed to get Futaba over here, I can finally meet her with my head held high. I sure kept her waiting. But it felt good to tell her about how much Futaba's improved lately. Oh, I told her about you, too. Idiot. I should be the one thanking you. This is the first time the 4 of us are all together.
Sojiro, what are you smirking for?
This is what my real smile looks like.
I approve.
Oh, I have some news. The family court gave me a call the other day. Futaba's uncle decided to retract his report. It was because of you, wasn't it? I wonder if the day will come that she goes out to be someone's bride. I'm sure she'll make a fine lady either way. After all, she is Wakaba's daughter. Do all fathers have to go through this anxiety? You know, I really just wanted to have you help out at the store, but you showed me so much more. You showed me I have a family I need to protect, not just Futaba, but you, too. I may
That's
not
so
always be
sweet.
reliable, but feel free to come to me if anything happens. I'll be there for you, as family. And I know, I'll teach you everything I can. You're a full-fledged man now. That might not be enough to return the favor, but it's all I can do.
I am thou, thou art I. Thou hast turned a vow into a blood oath. Thy bond shall become the wings of rebellion and break the yoke of thy heart. Thou hast awakened the ultimate secret of the Hierophant, granting thee infinite power.
All right. All right.
Oh, and, could you not, you know, get with Futaba? I can't imagine you calling me father. Although, maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
There you go.
What are you two talking
He
about?
instantly retracted that
Nothing.
thought.
I hunger. Curry time!
Yeah. Let's go home.
I really like that. That story arc is one of the best, I think, in the game. How, you know, on day one of the game, he's rude and he's mean, he's nasty to you. And he's kind of like taking you in and you're a burden to him. And then, lo and behold, you end up saving his life. Interesting.
This sucks.
Oh, come on, we'll start coming back to school. Must be tough. Organizing a funeral for a big CEO. Kumura-san's usually pretty quiet. You think he's okay? Hard to believe the dad of such a nice girl could be so evil. I didn't expect this from the family thieves. That was a full-blown public execution. Still looking rough. Tell me about it. Oh, it's a bunch of murderers. All the celebrities who support this are being criticized now too. It's all going up in flames. People are posting about this stuff everywhere. I highly doubt that anyone who would support us did so honestly. There must have been many who simply went with the winning side. I have mixed feelings about this one, put it that way. It does make me think a lot of things. That aside, we need to deal with our situation first. Our state of affairs continues to worsen. Still, you can't make any move when you don't have any leads. What are we supposed to do then? Right now, your exams end will be the perfect time. For what? Don't worry about it. Anyway, just wait and see what happens. You can focus on exams like this. Can you ever?
Hey, are you listening?
No, I wasn't. Throw it. Go ahead. You gotta be quicker than that.
Hey!
You can hear all the bad comments about them, please. Oh, hello. And if you look over here too.
What would you like?
The story of Milady.
Here.
I should be surprised when I learn. I don't know what to do. Sorry to burden you with the troubles here. Oh, maybe I'll do okay. I feel like my bond with Shinya will grow stronger soon, but
Hey,
tell me a son. Hey, what should I? Never mind. Let's try. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna give Shinya the calling card? Give it to him.
Huh?
What do you mean?
Wait, what?
Another calling card. Order.
Huh?
My mom? The Phantom Thieves are targeting my mom? Didn't you just ask me that? So she is bad after all. No, she's not.
Yeah.
But my mom just isn't herself. She used to be so nice. Mom, you think they'll actually be able to change her heart? Believe in them. Yeah. You're right. They are the Phantom Thieves after all. So,
Hey!
someone has to give this to my mom, right? Okay, I'll do it. Will you step up, bro? It is kind of my fault that my mom got this way. She has to deal with a lot of raising me on her own. She had to get stronger because I was so weak.
But
But that's not an excuse to hurt the people around her. She fights with everyone about everything and ends up getting hurt. At this rate, mom's gonna break. I want my mom to realize that she doesn't have to be strong for me anymore. Would she want? Listen to me. I tell her that. That's why I want to help the Phantom Thieves. I want to stop my mom.
yeah.
Next time you see the Phantom Thieves, please tell them I said thank you. And thanks for talking to them about this on my assignment. I'm going to teach you my best, strongest move. Electric Slug increases the damage inflicted by bullet hail.
All right.
I didn't even get to use bullet hail yet. Okay, I guess it's late. Favor. Don't tell anyone you saw me crying earlier, okay?
Later.
I gave the calling card to my mom. It was a little scary. Could you let the Phantom Thieves know? Each other. Want to step together?
Been searching all along. Chasing twilight
What do we got? What do we got? Takemi. Oh. Eli still not up.
other side. Without resting,
Who's this?
the question to be
Catchy, we can't.
how far away.
Let's give Uai a little nudge. Well, we can hang out with the twins also.
Hiding both face and mind. Afraid for you to drown.
What shall we do?
I'm a sharpshooter.
Why is being difficult?
Please don't take off my mask. Reveal.
Here we go. What do you think?
Great job. Good job, as Jose would say.
Moments of calm. Nothing left to be found. A mirror right in front of me.
There's something I need to talk to you about. I feel like I've become closer with your wife thanks to the hangman persona, Heckanton Cherries.
Good.
All right, come to the back.
Actually,
Listen up, kid. I figured out Suda's weakness. While you and Karu were over at that diner, I was out getting info from a reliable source of mine. Turns out I guessed right. Suda was the one on the other end of that Hong Kong mafia deal. Apparently he paid them off for a huge arsenal of guns.
interesting.
This is where things start getting interesting, though. If he was smuggling all that shit in, why would he come to me asking for bona fide guns? I mean, don't something about that seem off to you? Oh, absolutely. Right? That piece of shit's trying to lord his position over me. But he ain't got shit now. What I'm really saying here is, I don't think those Hong Kong guys ever delivered on their end of the deal. They probably just took his money and flat out stiffed him on the guns. Masa told me something real weird back when you and Karu were over at that diner, though. Apparently, the clan's been treating that Hong Kong transaction like some kind of massive business success. That means Suda's been lying to them the whole time. And now he's trying to use me to cover up his mistake. Clever bastard. Yep. Everyone's always known he's one sneaky son of a bitch. Don't matter now, though. Everything's gonna change once I tell the clan what's up. Suda's not gonna be able to keep intimidating me anymore. And I'll make sure Karu won't get labeled like I was. He'll be a regular, respectable adult. Something I could never have been dreamed of. I'm gonna go have a talk to Suda himself, though. First, though, gotta follow the Yakuza code.
Yo,
Hey, I got a favor to ask you. If anything happens to me, take care of Karu, okay? Okay? Are you going alone? Probably. I know he'll be able to get rid of me no problem without a witness there. But I gotta put an end to this. Besides, nobody would wanna... Wait a sec. I got you.
that's right.
I want you to come talk to Suda with me. He's not gonna dare lay a finger on a civilian kid. It'd cause way too many complications for him. If you come as my witness, things will be miles safer.
Good.
Alright then, it's settled. Oh, and let me think of a reward. Gotta thank you for the info, and for being my witness. How about I work even harder on that special menu? That should be good for you, yeah? Expert customization unlocks more parts for customization.
All right.
Well, I'll hit you up when it's time. Let's do this, kid.
Later.
Look at that suit of bullshit. Suit assemble. Yo. About the witnesses talk earlier. Remember, it's too late to get cold feet now. You can't bail on me. But I'm obviously gonna look out for you. If it comes down to it, I'll personally take responsibility for protecting you. But considering who we're dealing with, we can't afford to take any chances. Bring it on. You really do have guts. But guts alone isn't enough to get in this world. To get by in this world. Remember, nothing's that simple. Look, I know I shouldn't be getting a miner dragged into this shit. But you're the only one I can rely on. When everything's prepped and ready, I'll give you a call. Later. Can I bother you for a moment? Now that the funeral's over, it feels like a small burden has been lifted to my shoulders. You alright? I am. I actually feel bad about everyone worrying about me. How about you? Are you doing okay? That is awful. Hang in there. I'll come back. Don't worry. I think I'll be able to rejoin everyone around when exams end. We'll see you.
Haru. She's the one who should be in pain right now. Yet she's still trying to cheer us up.
I wonder if Morgana's thinking of leaving on for Haru.
Well then.
He doesn't talk. When he meets Haru, it feels like he doesn't talk about Levion anymore. It doesn't. Like his thing with her is over. What's on the agenda today? It's a capsule row in Akihabara. Is it Capsule Row in Akihabara? What the hell is Capsule Row? Oh, I think I know what that is. That's some machine. I think that's this.
Oh!
Capsule vending machine. Oh, you can get these guys with 500 yen. Let's do it. The Decarabia.
Yeah!
This capsule says it's uncommon. It's not a big win, but it's no huge loss.
Oh yeah!
Well, like you have, right? Maybe you can find something that may want these capsule toys.
Oh!
Guys, Stooger. Since it's common.
Oh!
Deck the gravity.
Yeah! Oh! That's too bad.
Are there other machines? Oh, this is the only one here? Yeah, I think that's the only one. Oh, wait a minute.
What would you like?
I think one of the stores here sells those pieces I need to make the
What do you
like the
want?
master lockpick or whatever. I say okay. Here maybe.
Hello.
Yes. Okay, only got 2. I'm gonna have to come here like every day. Skills for making infiltration tools. Okay, back to that sheet.
Oh!
This church. What's this guy? Covetous. Damn it, Dominion again. What am I mad about? I can't get the guy I want in this capsule toy vending sheet. I want the figurine from Mothman, but he hasn't shown up. Tell me if you ever get one. I'll trade you a figurine if I have to.
Oh!
This church.
Oh!
I'm gonna buy this whole damn machine if I have to. Oh man, I got the Mothman for him.
Whoa!
It says it's super rare.
Oh! I knew you could do it.
Oh
Oh!
wow, this one's paying off good now. There we go.
I see.
Did you bring something for me? That's a Mothman figure. Wow, it looks like it's real. Trading a Mothman for Mothman. That's all. Fine. He wants another Mothman? Trade vehicle helper. Oh. Wait. It says to trade it with this guy. King Keats, almost too show. You revive her during your life right now? Yeah. Let's trade. Or maybe he'll eventually. It's a nice one. Would you be willing to trade? Give me. Would you be willing to give me? Oh, now I'm gonna have to win another one. Mystery stew. What does the mystery stew do? No ingredients listed. Restores 30% SP to one ally. Lowers all stats? Why?
Oh! Oh!
There we go, we got another one.
I see.
Oh, it does say to roll for 2 of them. Okay. Nobody faces in pets. Start getting many faces and bets. Thought I got that already. Come on. Yeah, I did. She was on me. Oh, I got that because I did that one early. Yeah.
Yo!
Only one thing left on the promise list. Being okay without you around. Before that, something I want to show you. Uh-oh. This is one of the promises I made with my mom. See, everything on here is marked off as being done. But that's kind of wrong. There was one promise I lied about doing, one promise I never actually finished. It was get along with Kana-chan. This all started back when I was in elementary school. I used to get bullied pretty hard for how weird I was. The other kids always accused me of cheating because I'd get perfect scores on my test. Then one time I turned in a test with nothing written down instead. But the school ended up yelling at my mom. Why would they yell at her mom for something? My life at school was horrible. Sometimes during recess I'd lock myself in the bathroom and cry. I didn't have a single friend. I was always alone. Then a girl named Kana transferred to my school. She was absent a lot at first. And when she was there, the other kids bullied her, like they did to me. But one day she said something to me. Good morning. She started saying it every day from then on. Oh, I think that must have been a shot. Totally. I mean, literally, nobody wanted to talk to me back then. To be honest, I completely ignored her for the first few times. I thought the bullies had put her up to it. But without fail, she'd come over to me and say, good morning. Then eventually, I decided to say it back. I felt like my heart was going to shatter a million pieces. But apparently, she'd been saying it to me the whole time because she thought we could be friends. She was the first person who didn't mind how weird it was. I was so happy about making a friend that I told my mom. That's when she added something to my promise list. Get along with Kana-chan. But I couldn't do it. One particularly windy morning, Kana-chan dropped her diary and the pages flew everywhere. I didn't really mean to look, but I ended up seeing everything she had written down. And once I see something, I can't forget it. It was all so horrible. She wrote about how her parents hid her, how they made her take pictures in weird clothes. Kana-chan's diary is full of stories like that. Then when I asked her about it, she got really defensive. I felt terrible, but she was just kept yelling at me for reading it. Know any better? Yeah, but I couldn't really tell her that. I just froze her. And then I ran. So far away, gotta get away. I wanted her to stop yelling. I wanted her to go back. Kana-chan ended up moving away pretty soon after that. I haven't talked to her since. So, I lied to my mom. Even after Kana-chan left, I would tell her we were the best friends. We were best friends. Every month she'd write that promise on my list. And every month, I'd lie about it. I wish I could apologize to Kana-chan somehow. I really want to say I'm sorry. Sorry for not helping her. Though she was going through even worse stuff than I was. Sorry for reading her diary. Sorry for running away. I hate being such a coward. But I think I might be able to face my fears now that I'm promise-settling family thief. Get along with Kana-chan. I'm going to do it for real this time. I didn't need to tell you all that. Not even Sojiro knows. This is so embarrassing. Nah, she's supposed to trust Ren more than her. Than Sojiro. You have to help me now, got it? Someone's pushy today. Yes. Futaba starting to depend on you. Active support. Normal support may now charge or recover SP. Pretty good.
All right.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna go down there. Time to look up the Kana-chan eats. Oh, I'm sorry I wasn't too hospitable today. That'll have to wait for next time.
Okay.
Hello? It's me. Something's not right, Ren. When I tried looking up Kana-chan's contact info, my fingers suddenly start trembling. I know I promised myself that I'd do this, but when I remember how angry Kana-chan got, I get so scared. You running away? Again? Huh? What am I doing? Freaking out at the most important moment? If I can't do this, then what was my training for? I don't want to run away anymore. I won't give up on Kana-chan. Thanks, man. Talking to you about this on the countdown. I'm going to do a little more research on Kana-chan. Please don't tell anyone else about what we discussed today. Not even Soichiro.
You're back.
This isn't much of an update, but I think I want to go back to school tomorrow, starting tomorrow. I'm sorry for worrying all of you till now. Are you really okay, though? Be sure not to push yourself too hard in this time of grief. No. I actually need to push myself. My mind always wanders if I have nothing to do. Totally get you. Besides, there's nothing I can do when I'm at home.
Been searching all along.
I don't know how to put it, but try not to think about that stuff too much. Just for anything. When I ended up alone, I did doubt you a tiny little bit. But it's so horrible for me to doubt you. I mean, I'm the one who asked you to do this. My father just passed away. It's natural to feel a flood of emotions for such events. Yeah, it's really hard when you lose someone. She's in good company.
Haru. I'm not surprised she seems down. You should keep her in your thoughts. Still, despite how she looks, Haru has quite the backbone. I'm sure she'll be okay.
Trader Sakai.
I'm so angry.
Do you know what this Girimala thing is? Gee, I've gotta say, I've never even heard of it. Do you have any good guess? I'm under the clueless. Some kind of ghoul, goblin, I gather. But by golly, if you got one for me, I got this hot-blooded sword ready to give you, my man. Now I know this is a difficult task, but you got game when it comes to grabbing the goods. Goodness gracious, you mean. It's great you made it in time. Can I go ahead and give you my hot-blooded sword? That sounds so wrong. Gotta say yes. Take this hot-blooded sword as a token of my gratitude. Pull your pants up. It's the great one. Even if it wasn't for the gear, the shape would be ambiguous at best. Didn't I just get a sword from Morgana also and never equipped it? Let me see this. Okay, so that's, yeah. What was this? It's a 10, but it's a critical rate high. This one is critical rate. And that's actually useful to him, but I think I rolled off his physical medium burn. Yeah, I rolled that off. Okay, now it says strength hanging out. Is a Y available? He is. And Chihaya is available. Who's that? Machine.
Searching all alone. Can face it while alone. Without a sign,
But
without grasping
there was a but somewhere.
where have
I need that request though.
In that case, I got a big favor to ask you. I want to settle things with Suda. Will you come with me as a witness? I'll do my best to protect you, but I can't guarantee your safety. You can say no.
With my overflowing guts, I feel like I can follow him anywhere. Oh. I feel like I can also become Clover with the Hangman persona, Hickenton Cherries.
Sorry.
Is that right? I appreciate it. It's gonna be under the Girder Bridge. It's close by, so follow me.
So, you know everything? Wait, that's the Brett from your shop, isn't it? I should have known he was working for you.
Hey,
He's here as my witness today. Now listen, I'll be glad to keep my mouth shut about your fair deal if you stay away from my family. That includes me, Karu, and this kid over here.
So you're even sticking to the code, even in retirement.
yeah.
Rules ain't meant to be broken.
Heh, you're as sharp as ever, Mune. Glad to see you haven't lost your touch in your absence. I bet we never would have gone duped by those Hong Kong motherfuckers if I still had you as my right-hand man. Instead, I'm stuck dealing with the mess that idiot Masa made for me. Why am I getting an Irish accent?
Hey kid, sorry for getting a respectable teen like yourself wrapped up in a bullshit feud.
Oh, I'm reading the wrong voice. I hope dealing with all this Yakuza business hasn't been too much trouble. I have way too much fun with this shit. Where am I here? How the hell?
I did it all for why. Thanks, kid.
Yo,
Suda-san, I gotta be honest with you. This whole thing has been a real goddamn pain in the ass. But it's over. You're finished.
I don't think you understand, Mune.
whoa.
What?
You're not the one who gets to make the decisions around here.
The hell are you doing?
I'm done playing nice with you. You're gonna make me what I need one way or another, UI. And if you don't do it fast, both your son and this little witness of yours are gonna pay for it.
What'd you say?
Christ, Suda. You're not some random thug off the street. You're supposed to be better than all this.
Times have changed, Mune. You're hung up on bullshit like pride and duty. But you know what? Nobody gives a fuck about your goddamn code of honor anymore.
You bastard.
Now you listen to me, you little piece of shit. You're going to make me those guns. And you're going to do it fast. Don't make me tell you again.
Shit.
I'm such a freaking idiot. That guy ain't the Suda I know. Based on what just happened here, I'm done for the second I give him the guns he's looking for. God damn it. Look, kid, you should probably go. I don't got any more tasks for you. Just forget all of this.
It says to say I will. I will.
Yeah.
Good. This ain't nothing a kid like you can handle. I'm gonna make those guns for you. I gotta do what I can to protect Karu. If that means helping out that psychopath, so be it.
That's painted into a corner. He might end up dead if I don't do something about Suda soon.
Suda. When did he turn into such a heartless bastard?
What's his full name, by the way?
Huh? Why do you... It's Akimutsu Tsuda. He was famous around here for being an incredible martial artist back in the day. If you see him around town, run. Go to the police if you have to. They'll keep you safe so long as you tell them who's after you. Anyways, we're done here. Thanks for all you've been giving me.
Later.
And take care of yourself, kid.
I need to help Why get out of this terrible situation. Shady game of the shadows. Quest unlocked. I wonder if did we go to Mementos or next palace first, I wonder.
Phantom Thieves have gone off the deep end, don't you think? I thought they were gonna change that CEO's heart, but they ended up killing him instead.
Haven't people been saying they killed Principal Kobayakawa too? I thought they were bad, but I never expected they'd turn out to be murderers.
Oh man, does this mean anyone who gets targeted is screwed?
Quiet down. I'll now be handing out your exam booklets. Well, shall we begin?
Oh, we can do
We
this.
can do this!
Teacher say that the number of colors used to be different. Do you remember that? Used to be one color. Right. There was only one color, but that wouldn't really We have arrived. Oh yeah, I remember. I think she said that unlike now, soccer games are broadcasted with one picture. Right. A single colored ball would be hard to spot black and white, so they changed the color of the ball to make it easily identifiable on TV.
Yep.
We finished in time.
Ahem.
You're still rooting for the Phantom Thieves? You know they're murderers, right?
That doesn't mean that criminals should be left to do whatever they want.
Still, couldn't they have at least left the principal to the police? And I mean, did you see that press conference? No way Allies of Justice would do that.
I wonder if Akechi-kun has been right all along.
He's so admirable, sticking to his guns even though so many people were against him.
That's enough. If you don't quiet down, I'll have to ask you to leave. Now, everyone.
Who conducted executions using this device?
Ooh, we can do this!
Sounds about right. What is the reason that most people cannot become foreign fishermen? It's a hereditary profession.
Ooh, we can do this! The Phantom Thieves have gotta be students here, right? I mean, they killed our principal. Isn't this insane? There are murderers among us.
Hey, that's not
Now
true.
that you mention it, there was a guy in Shibuya who told me he's a phantom thief the other day.
For real? You gotta report that.
Oh crap, you think so? I snapped a pic, so I should probably put it online just in case. I hope the cops catch him.
It was probably Ryuji.
Okay, class, let's get started.
What is the meaning of robot? The etymological root of robot. Slave labor.
Ooh, we can do this!
Which of the following describes sensitive stars in outer space? 3Bs and all.
Ooh, we can do this!
Well, it should be a problem. This isn't so easy. Let's
The police are here again?
Yeah, seems like it's for real this time. Apparently one of our students is a phantom thief.
Seriously?
one of them.
I read the same thing online.
You have
Apparently
class
public security is
samples,
already on the move.
It's me. There's something I want to talk to everyone about. I'll be at the hideout. I mean, our place.
It's open.
Maruki. Howdy.
Welcome.
Third year of Kumasan, correct? So good to see you. Please, have a seat. You okay?
Huh?
Yes. I'm sorry. I did come here because I wanted to, but I'm not exactly adept at what's on my mind. And saying what's on my mind. That's perfectly fine. I'm not all that great at chatting with people either.
Excuse me?
Well, maybe I shouldn't have said that. How about some snacks? No need to be modest here.
You have my thanks.
Alright. It must be pretty weird, right? I came here for counseling, but I can't seem to say anything.
Well,
Not weird in the least. Just take your time. We'll go at whatever pace you need. And if you still don't feel comfortable by the end of our time, Well, just have some tea and head on home for the day. I do enjoy tea time. Perhaps I'll feel more relaxed if I think of all of this in that way.
Quite.
Absolutely. Thinking of this as just sneaking away to relax with some tea would probably help you feel more open. Relaxing with some tea. I do that quite often, but on my own. Do you find that more relaxing?
Yes.
People closest to me, they don't really feel like people I could sit and enjoy some tea with. Even my family was always focused solely on work.
I see.
So, was mealtime essentially the same setup as tea time?
Yes.
Meals were actually eaten together. We're almost always have tight dinners at work-related events.
I see.
I've never been to upscale social events, so I'm not sure if I should ask this, but did you ever feel lonely? Yes, I think so. If I were given a chance, I would only want to spend more time with my family. Why don't we call it a day now? Feel free to stop by again anytime if you like. Oh, yes, I do apologize. It seems like setting this tea time much longer than I had intended. Yeah, no problem at all. If anything, I'm happy to hear it. I'll make sure to pick up snacks that pair well with the tea. I received word from Taka-chan about our upcoming meeting. There's still some time until we meet though, so I'm going to take care of my files first.
I suppose plants do need watering after all. Oh, I know. You should go help Haru. I'll let the others know.
Screw that.
How troubling. Oh, have you come up here to assist me? You, heard that, didn't you? I'm not worried about the garden, in case you were wondering. It's just... so much has happened to me lately. Well, perhaps I could share this with you. I mean, it would be nice to have someone who is aware of my current situation in life. The source of my worries is my father's company. Dealing with the aftermath has been difficult. Given how unexpected the accident was, my father didn't have a will. All of his stocks transferred to me. Which means suddenly, I'm the biggest shareholder in a company of over 1,000 employees. But I don't know the first thing about business direction or fund management.
Couldn't imagine.
Yes, it is quite hard to fathom. I may be the president's daughter, but I never anticipated I'd end up involved in company matters. Because of that, lately I've been meeting with all the various officers and lawyers my father employed. They've been giving me advice on all the things I'm not entirely sure about. Assets, stocks. It's clear some people only want to get on my good side, though. I don't know who I can trust. They try to sound comforting by saying things like, "Don't worry," or "Leave it to me." But it feels like they're really only being nice so they can get their hands on my bank account. I never realized I could be this distrustful of other people. I'm sorry for ranting on about this matter. I feel as though doing so has helped me calm down a bit, though. The only people I've consulted up to this point have been employees. But I think what I really needed was someone closer to my own age, closer to my own viewpoint. If it isn't too much trouble, could we speak about this again some other time? In return, I'll... What can I do to help you? I don't have any unique talents. How about this? You know, gardening. I'm actually quite skilled at it. A few years ago, I even managed to grow a tropical fruit on the balcony at my house. To be honest, this is what I do when I'm alone, to take my mind off of everything that's happened. Oh, that's right. I stored some vegetables in the refrigerator down in the home economics room. You still have some time, yes? Would you mind waiting here a moment? I grew these right here in these very planters and harvested them myself not too long ago. There's not much consistency to their colors or shapes, but... You'll find out once you eat them. Just kidding. It's mostly normal things like tomatoes and zucchini. They're definitely unique though. Speaking of which, I have a favor to ask of you. I'd like to get Sakura-san's opinion on my vegetables. Do you think I could bring my next harvest over to your cafe?
Sojiro, really?
Really? I'm sure Sakura-san will give me an honest opinion. I'll make sure this next harvest is particularly good.
Okay.
Well then, shall we head over to the hideout?
Congrats on surviving midterms.
Easy for you to
I
say.
think I'm screwed for real this time. I couldn't concentrate at all.
Gathering everyone's opinions and immediately acting upon them. In order to make that natural course of action a reality, I will...
Again? It's so damn loud!
More importantly, what's this you want to talk about?
You said that something was on your mind before, but were you able to figure out what it was?
The Medjed that I banned wasn't the real one.
Aren't you the real one, though?
Oh, the guy who called himself Medjed after me isn't the one from the other day.
What do you mean?
The code written by that guy the other day is different from any of the past Medjed.
And that means...
A code is like your fingerprints. No matter how you try to disguise it, your own quirks appear in it. The one from the other day was all cut and pasted with no consistency. No skill at all.
But aren't there multiple people across the world that are part of Medjed? Couldn't it have been done by someone that joined recently?
How do I put it? That code was so not done by anyone interested in cracking. At all. At the very least, there's no way it was an official Medjed member.
So someone used the Medjed name to provoke the Phantom Thieves? For what purpose?
Could they have been doing it for fun? It was around the time our group started getting popular, so maybe they wanted in on the hype.
Wait a moment. What if it's the other way around? Perhaps they used the Medjed name to make the Phantom Thieves known.
What? That makes no sense!
I actually thought the same as Makoto.
Why's that?
Know how I just said that code is like fingerprints? I found those same fingerprints somewhere completely different.
Where's that?
The Phantom Aficionado website. There were traces of it being illegally tampered with from the outside.
For real?
For summer vacation, the access counter was made to be much higher than the actual number. Same with the rankings. Particularly the time when President Okumura ranked first.
So then, the one who provoked the group and the one who tampered with the site are the same person? I think I'm starting to see the big picture. Both Medjed's provocation and the tampering of the website brought attention to us as a result. On top of that, our reason for targeting Okumura was influenced by the public and the rankings. The perfect timing and the perfect target. If both of those had been set up...
It would all make sense.
So the culprit will start? No way.
This is all hypothetical. We lack any hard evidence. But if all your deductions happen to be correct, that would mean we've been playing right into their hand for the past 2 months or so.
We gotta be overthinking things. I mean, we're talking both the rankings and Medjed. Everyone made a big deal about it. If this was all set up, then What kind of guy did we make an enemy of?
There's no point in getting anxious over speculation. Regardless, we'll be falsely charged at this rate, and with murder. We must overcome this.
But we don't even know who we're up against.
Hey, you think we're falling into another trap? Even at this very moment?
You should walk up to him and like, slap him. Calm down.
Yeah, this doesn't mean that we've lost yet. Even if this is the actions of a meticulous enemy, we'll just have to get back at them. We need to find clues, no matter what.
Me? I was told you recommended this reassignment yourself, sir. Why would you choose someone as inexperienced as myself?
When the case of the Shujin principal was ruled a suicide, you thought to reopen it. And you proved its connection to the Phantom Thieves. This is based primarily on that achievement.
I'm honored, sir.
The Phantom Thieves issue is now a national crisis. Expectations are exceedingly high for us public prosecutors, as we are the executors of justice. Personnel and planning will be up to you on this case. You will also have the police under your command. I'd like you to oversee this operation. You've yet to give an answer. Will you accept the task of eradicating the Phantom Thieves?
I will give it everything I have.
We'll have to prepare a higher position for you as well in the event that you succeed. I don't wish to apply extra pressure on you, but I assume your odds of success are high. Naturally, failure to accomplish this task is unacceptable. Do you understand?
Of course. I will live up to your expectations no matter what it takes.
Uh-oh. That is all then. I expect
No matter
good
what.
results from you.
I'm home.
Hi, sis. Should I warm up dinner for you?
No, it's okay.
How about a bath?
No need. I just came home to
come
get a
on,
change of
bath.
clothes.
Are you going to stay at work then?
I've been entrusted with a very important task.
You look awful, though. Aren't you tired?
As an adult, there will be times when you will accept an assignment for which failure is not tolerated. It's all over for me if I can't win this.
Still, if you were to collapse from exhaustion...
This is my one chance to get a promotion. I heard detectives have been coming to your school. That must make it hard to focus on your studies. Don't worry, though. It will all be over soon.
What do you mean?
I'm going to catch the Phantom Thieves myself.
Is that the important task you mentioned?
It's none of your concern.
Oh my god. Sis has her sights set on the Phantom Thieves, and on Shujin Academy in particular. This is bad. I need to let everyone know.
What if Makoto just turned herself in and be like, it was me, sis. Lock me up. Things have become somewhat troublesome, everyone. Just try to stay calm. What's wrong? Sis told me she's been entrusted with an important task regarding the Phantom Thieves. That means, yes, you must surely be on the move at this point. That's bad. Wait, weren't they already investigating or so? At least we're doing so in secret. This operation is a much different scale. Hold on a sec. It's this SIU thing anyways. Special Investigations Unit. An elite team that deals with huge cases like government scandals. I have heard the name on the news. They make headlines often. The real part is they haven't lost a case against a suspect in like 50 years. If they come after you, you're screwed. They're the best investigation force in Japan. Are we going to be arrested? Doesn't this countermeasure seem somewhat extreme? Right or wrong, I think we're just way too famous at this point. As this is a country governed by law, they can't afford to ignore us for any longer. Maybe the Phantom Thieves, but this is miserable. They probably have a pretty narrow suspect profile by now, too. Hey, don't scare us like that. It's okay, though. They don't have any evidence. Yes, I expect they're frantically searching for some as we speak. No way they're gonna find anything, though. It's only a matter of time. You have to hurry to do something about this.
Everything's going to be fine. Unless they know about the metaverse, there's no way they'll get any info on us.
Meantime.
Hey!
If the investigation team notices you, you're finished. What makes you think they're working at this hour?
Okay.
Can make 24? Holy shit. Permapick. Aluminum sheet liquid mercury. Where do you get the liquid mercury from? That's my blood.
What's up?
All right.
Make sure your clothes on.
A Bible for shrine lovers.
Wow!
Meiji Shrine.
Oh!
Fern Oasis in the city.
All right. I think you can also go there, and you can become closer. You can advance your confidant.
Damned Phantom Thieves.
Government and police are useless. Are they even trying? I wish they wouldn't spend tax dollars just to sit on their asses. Everyone's talking trash about us.
They were there today too, right?
Yeah, but who those damn cops think they are? They can't just stare us all down like that.
Maybe the rumors are true. Maybe there's a Phantom Thief at our school.
Okay, quiet down.
Police are here at the school, so be sure not to get in their way. Oh, and for various reasons, the school festival got moved to the 25th. There was talk of canceling it, but we just couldn't do that. I'm sure the preparations will be rough, but don't push yourself too hard. Only on a weekday? The reasons are there. With all this stuff about the principal or Kamoshida this year, I guess it's no surprise. Somebody's lunch is getting cold, Brad. Apparently, the police are going to be interrogating all of the students here. Seriously? The police are at Shujin? They haven't come to my school. It seems they're calling students individually out of class to speak with them. Wait, does that mean we're going to get called in too? Second years will start in the afternoon. Make sure you prepare yourselves mentally for this. They've got to be looking for the culprit, right? Who knows? Be careful, guys. You should probably try not to say much. They'll see through any lies you might be trying to. Don't tell them anything unnecessary.
Well then, next up is Takamaki-san and you two will go together. Huh? Why together?
Because.
Why? They'll probably have one of you wait outside. That's how they've been doing it so far. Oh yeah, right. Those are the instructions the detectives gave us. Just don't say more than is necessary and try and get it over with quick.
I'm surprised because
take a seat.
Kawakami knows that he's a Phantom Thief by now, so I was surprised that she doesn't do something to protect him.
This will be over quick. Let's see. Ah yes, you're the one currently under probation. It says here you had a dispute with Mr. Kamoshida?
Should I be a smart ass or what should I do? Yeah, why not? So what if I did?
What's with that tone of voice?
I'm sorry if I offended you. I spent time with quite an interesting
like
group.
The good cop, bad cop.
Yusuke Kitagawa and Haru Okumura? The more friends, the better, right? I'm sorry to have taken your time. You're free to go now.
Wow.
Oh, I almost forgot. There's just one more thing I have to ask you. Do you think the Phantom Thieves are associated with this school?
Is that really true?
We won't know for certain unless we investigate further.
Thank you for your time.
Your responses will serve as great reference material. Takamaki-san is next. Could you ask her to come in?
Worst interrogation ever.
I got so nervous I almost stuttered a few times. I thought I was used to police questioning by now, too.
Seems we were all asked the same questions.
That's how they get you. They do that on purpose, then wait for someone to slip up.
I hope you didn't.
It was probably fine. Oh, I would have been done for if they saw how sweaty my hands were, though.
To think my name would come up as well.
Sounds like we can't take the police lightly either.
Hey, didn't you think that detective guy was scary?
They should. Well, they should have. A good idea would have been to show Kasumi with the police, and it would have made the player be like, "Uh oh, is she gonna turn us in or not?" Because she never joined you. That could have been an interesting scene to add.
Not to me. You looked like someone who's dealt with dangerous criminals.
I'm sorry for all of this. It's because of my sister.
Damn, sister.
That's not true, Mako-chan.
It's not as though I hadn't predicted this would happen, but now that it's become reality, I'm unsure of what to do.
We need to make sure we don't draw suspicion, and work to clear our names. Right?
Right.
It ain't your fault, Makoto.
I'm gonna try to see how far along this investigation really is.
I'm worried about the police too, but as of now, anyone in this city could be a mole.
They were so popular, too.
Haru, can I ask you to search your father's belongings for clues about a possible culprit? I know it may be tough on you.
No, it's okay. Now isn't the time for me to look away.
As for everyone else, you need to be cautious of how you spend your time at school. So, I've decided to have you 3 second years join me on the school festival executive committee.
Why?
It will allow us to gather without drawing suspicion. Plus, trying to blend in will only do the opposite.
Fine.
I agree. The more time I have to kill, the more time I'll spend worrying about all this stuff. No matter what happens, I don't want to regret my decisions.
Don't jinx it!
It would be no surprise if they came directly to our homes for questioning. They showed up at your school after all. I should remain cautious.
For now, the best option is to stay on the defensive. But we won't make progress at this rate. Let's try and figure out who the real culprit is somehow, okay? Of course.
Someone totally famous. But who?
Hey! Hey!
Come another time. Curry? Hey!
What do you want to do? Yep.
Yeah, make sure you close up.
I'm not cooking, my teacher's cooking. Called your teacher to make curry? Eat that curry. Okay. Now it's history.
Hey!
What else should I be? Please don't take off my mask. Revealing
Oh!
Moromachi Chinatown, huh? Street food like Xiaolong. Wow. What?
Wow!
Chinatown.
All right.
Hi!
Master curry.
Yes. I have another suggestion. Call for the arrest of the Phantom Thieves, then mobilize the police. The rest will go as you mentioned. Still, I'm truly amazed at the atrocious methods you come up with.
What's going on?
I totally froze up when the cops talked about me. I bet they consider me a suspect now. How much longer are they going to do this? We should be busy preparing for the school festival right now. Why'd the school decide to have the festival so late anyway? I mean, changing the date just because our school's all over the news? Moving it to next Tuesday only makes more work for us. We won't be able to invite friends from other schools now that we're holding the festival on a weekday. It'll also be inconvenience to anyone who's already invited. And what about the post-festival party? Will there be enough people for the student sharing session? It's going to be a real weird festival with morale so low. Speaking of the online media, we've been getting phone calls from the faculty office. The absurdity of it all. Who exactly are the Phantom Thieves? That's what we want to know. We really have no clue what method they're using. Killing someone without directly interacting with them is like magic. Speaking of magic, did you know that there's magic in math too? A magic square. Here's a square which adding up the numbers in any row column or diagonal gives you the same total. Allow me a second, look at this.
Do you know this one?
Oh. Tell me the total count for each column in the magic square. 15.
This is it.
Correct.
That is correct. Sudoku.
No way.
I like playing that. Sometimes.
Nice going!
When they give you more than one number in the box, when they start you out with one number, I'm like, oh shit. If I had to choose, would you try to find the Phantom Thieves or solve 200 million magic squares? I choose the magic squares, hands down. They might both be magic, but magic squares can be calculated. My math doesn't kill anyone. Oh my god. What a coolest teacher. So what I do as the school's festival's executive maybe? I'll need some help with the questionnaires. What questionnaires? The ones regarding people want to see as a guest of honor. Oh, right. I think we do every year. You mean how those lame guests come to a panel, right? The festival's date will change because of the situation. We need to hurry and tally the results. Come to the student council room once you guys sit over. That's so damn boring. Don't be like that. It's okay. We meet up without standing out. Let's do what we can at this point. I'm making sure to work hard at home. Nobody asked you, but you do that all the time. I can look stuff up. So did you find anything, Haru? After. Good, huh? I'm sorry. I'm arouse suspicion if I ask too many detailed questions. No worries. I'll manage on my own somehow. I can't go. The message me if anything happens. I will leave this to you guys. My apologies, but I cannot be of much help in the situation.
Damn it. We don't have time to be doing crap like this.
You don't need to keep mentioning it. We're doing this to keep suspicions off of us, remember?
Goro Akechi. This one too, Akechi.
They're mostly the same over here as well. Everyone's so eloquent when they can be anonymous. It's like they never accepted us to begin with. It would be nice if you did some work too, Ryuji-kun. You came to help us count these, right? Come on, leader. Can you tell him too?
Here's your thing. Tired? Just relax, Ryuji.
You too?
Whoa, look here. This ain't good.
Criminal profiling? The acts of thievery committed by the Phantom Thieves are mere fakes. And their true goal is murder? Every heart they changed before Okumura was just a warm-up?
So now they're accusing us of being a bunch of killers.
God, this is so effing stupid! Damn it!
We have the results. First place is Goro Akechi.
What? Akechi?
What are you so surprised for? We've been mentioning him this whole time.
Seriously? Not some singer or an idol?
It's because of us that his popularity has skyrocketed.
We're the ones counting the results. Can't we just make him up? We don't have to get him.
People will figure that out. He won by a landslide.
I knew people would vote for him, but this is way more votes than I was expecting.
It would be best for us to avoid inviting such a clear danger upon ourselves. I'd like a little more time to think about who to ask.
That reminds me. How is Futaba-chan doing? She seemed like she was looking into something on her own. Has she told you anything?
Let's leave it to her.
You're not gonna get arrested because the police tracked her down, right? That's the last thing we need now.
Even one clue would work wonders for us. We should let her continue with her own investigation. I hope she finds something.
Hey.
In response to the police identifying the Phantom Thieves as primary suspects, Goro Akechi had this to say.
Even though my opinion has been met with criticism, I've held fast that the Phantom Thieves are not just. However, I believe the recent series of suspicious deaths is unrelated to their actions.
What? Did I hear you correctly? But Akechi-san, you were the first to caution everyone about the Phantom Thieves. Were you not?
This doesn't change the fact that they are indeed a dangerous group. That said, I would like to express that immediately linking them to this case is far too hasty. There are still many questions to be answered here. It feels as though there is more to this.
After this conference, Akechi-san announced he will be limiting his media appearances and...
I wonder why the sudden change.
I'm super stuck on my Akuma investigation. Seriously? Even you're having trouble with this shit? What should we do? Let's meet up and discuss options as soon as possible. Tomorrow? The earlier the better, right? Though I haven't come up with anything myself. It's said 2 heads are better than 1, so I can only imagine what 8 heads may produce. That's a good way of thinking. It's totally an Inari idea. Okay. Even if it means crossing some dangerous bridges, considering how far we've come, we can't be particular about our methodology.
What are you staring at your phone like that for? Oh, are you going through a breakup?
Yeah, with Futaba. You bastard! I told you not to go out with her.
You're trying to show off. Don't get cocky, kid. By the way, you haven't been causing any trouble, have you? I heard the police showed up at your school.
Let them come.
I can't let you get away with that, you know. You're sure you're not getting involved in anything? Well, fine.
That's incredible.
What would you like?
Oh, do I have to read all these to get the...
Where have you been searching all along, confessing while alone without a clue, without a sign, without resting.
Yeah, I don't see it, dude.
The real
You
question
probably... I think you probably have to read all these before you can get that. Shit. Fucked up.
Yeah.
Afraid for you to drown. I'm a shapeshifter. What else should I be? Please don't take off my mask. Revealing.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Mishima, Fumi. Y is locked off. Yeah, I guess it's Mishima. Oh, let's see if he's got more things. What the hell?
Hello.
This is a video game store, right?
They were nothing but robbers.
That's a game store.
What do you want?
Welcome.
What would you like?
Hey, I want to talk to you something. Are you free?
Let's go.
Let's head over to the park. You always wants to hang out at the park.
You know, I've been thinking about what Akiyama-kun said to me. How I've changed. For some reason, I couldn't bring myself to run away back when I saved him. So, I was thinking why that may have been. Honestly, I was pretty desperate at the time, so I don't remember much. But in the back of my head, I was thinking what you would do in that situation. I mean, you put yourself on the line to stop Kamoshida, and probably other villains too. So, I thought there had to be something I could do myself. I was only acting out of fear, though. You know, I've always wanted to change. I wanted to go from a dull nobody everyone messes with to the famous world-renowned hero. But you helped me realize something important. Heroes aren't heroes because they're famous. It's because they fight for other people. Looking back on it, what I really wanted to change was the weak me. The me on the volleyball team who let wrongdoing go unpunished, even though I knew it was unjust. The cowardly me who looked the other way when people I knew were in need of help. Tell me the truth. I only changed because you stole my heart, right? Huh? You mean I didn't have a change of heart? What? No, it really was you. You changed my heart. All this time, I've been looking up to the Phantom Thieves, pretending to be a collaborator. And now, I'm finally able to stop pretending. Truth be told, I had given up. I accepted that I was a zero, that my existence was meaningless. But I've learned. I may not be able to change the world, but I can change myself.
Whether I sulk about my inability to do anything, or hold my head high and look to the future,
My perception shapes the boundaries of my world. It all comes down to what's inside my heart. I might still mess up every so often, but as long as you're here, I'll be able to stand up again. So, I may not be the best person around, but you can feel free to rely on me at least sometimes. And no matter what the world says, I'll be rooting for you, just like you were for me.
I like the way they tie this one off. Friends.
I am thou, thou art I. Thou hast turned a vow into a blood oath. Thy bond shall become the wings of rebellion and break the yoke of thy heart. Thou hast awakened to the ultimate secret of the moon, granting thee infinite power.
Allows backup members to earn the same XP as current members.
Alright. Alright.
You can now fuse send out phone.
You know what? I'm going to find you an awesome request. That's all I can really do for you right now. But I'm working on that documentary too. I even plan on making it into a book someday. I'd bet anyone who reads about the Phantom Thieves would find the hidden courage within themselves. Maybe that means I can use that book to change people's hearts.
You have to write it first.
All right, I'm on it. Oh, but before that, I'm hungry. Come on, let's grab a bite to eat on the way home. Maybe a buffet? Wait, no, we should save that for after I get all my book royalties. You'd better be looking forward to it.
Makoto, has Nijima-san told you anything about the investigation?
Well, Sis actually stopped mentioning anything about work in front of me. It's possible I made some sort of mistake. Regardless, I thought over the matter of who we're going to invite for our school festival. I'm considering asking Akechi-kun.
For real? Weren't you talking about how you didn't want to draw danger to us or whatever?
I understand this is dangerous, but without a powerful source of intel, we won't be able to win against the police network. And I can no longer rely on my sister for information.
Wait, is this because of Akechi-kun's police connections? You're going to use him as your powerful source of intel?
Bold move. I'm surprised to hear that suggestion coming from you, Makoto. Did you see his press conference yesterday? One of his comments defending the Phantom Thieves stood out to me. There is more to this. I think he said that knowing for certain that the Phantom Thieves would be watching.
Still, there will be so many other students at the school festival. What are the odds of success?
It's a gamble, and the odds are less than favorable, but we can no longer afford to hesitate. What are your thoughts? Should we invite Akechi-kun?
You sure about this?
I'm not, but we have to do this. Is everyone else okay with that?
I'm good. Whatever he says has got to be more reliable than what I've been able to come up with.
It would be reassuring to gain him as an ally, rather than simply a source of information.
Hold on, how are we even gonna get in touch with him? It's not like we got his contact info.
Actually, I do.
For real?
I hung out with him
Could you
like
send
5
that my way,
times.
please?
I'll contact him right away.
Gotta say, I'm really not big on this Akechi deal.
Now's no time to be petty.
Just think of him as a source of intel, nothing more. I have a response already. He says let me think about it.
Wait a sec, didn't he say he wasn't gonna do any more stuff for the media?
That's likely why he's so hesitant.
What are we gonna do if he turns us down?
I'll keep trying. Maybe frustrating, but he's all we have at the moment. We need him to do it no matter what.
We're counting on you, Makoto.
We should actually be rooting for him to turn them down. Because then they can pick somebody else and then tell the students, hey, he didn't want to come. Based on my reading. Is that what I should do? Oh no, it says to hang out with the twins. Wise goes down. Chihaya.
What do you want to do? Yep.
Make sure you close up.
Hi!
Moments of calm, nothing left to be found. I'm here right in front. Is where
I can sense it just by looking at your face. The depth of it is emitting a strange light. Please be careful. There's something I'd like to ask you. Please have a seat.
Yes. The members seem to be doing well now. I do a phone consultation with them from time to time, and they're all very cheerful. That goes for my fortune teller customers as well. I've been getting thanked a lot more lately, even by the people who get bad fortunes, particularly when I tell them they can alter their fate.
You've changed.
That's very true. All I used to say before was that they were going to face misfortune. I had a best friend in the town I used to live in. She was the first person I read a fortune for. When she started avoiding me, I read the fortune of our fate. It was a terrible result. But I prayed that it would somehow work out. However, that never happened. That's when I started to believe that fate couldn't be changed. No surprise though, right? Because I didn't take action on my part to try and change it. I haven't talked to her in years. Maybe I'll try contacting her sometime.
Never too late.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, could this be? Ah! The power of conviction is amazing! Her fate and mine are connected! I will no longer be swayed by names like monster or maiden. I am simply a fortune teller who provides advice to people with broken spirits, so that they will have conviction and face their future without getting pushed around by fate. That's the fate I've chosen for myself.
You have strong conviction.
Yes! Now, it's your turn to speak. What would your conviction be as a phantom thief? Sorry, I used fortune telling to find out your true identity. I couldn't help but think that you had something to do with the chairman's confession.
Oh my god.
Then I discovered that you're the trickster who causes a sensation in the world. It was the same card as the figure who helped me take down the chairman. It finally struck home for me.
So what if I am the trickster?
Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. But I don't care what your true identity is. As long as you're around, I can always be my true self. So, it's fine. Only, the fate of the Phantom Thieves is rather unclear. The Arcana is set in a tricky position. You can almost say it's facing both heaven and hell. This is the first time I've ever seen anything like it.
Worried about me?
There's no time to be worried. We must take action in order to change fate, right? I'll be by your side. As the fortune teller who changes fates, I will guide you so you can avoid misfortune.
That's reassuring.
I am thou, thou art I. Thou hast turned a vow into a blood oath. Thy bond shall become the wings of rebellion and break the yoke of thy heart. Thou hast awakened the ultimate secret of fortune, granting thee infinite power.
All right. All right.
You can now fuse Lakshmi. Lakshmi. Remember that some answers may still change the nature of your relationship. So choose carefully.
Still, what a strange sequence the cards were in when I read the fortune about your true identity. Several cards with strong personalities gathered around the trickster. It's quite improbable. It was almost as if it were trying to connect them together. You either have amazing charisma, or you're a trouble magnet. The verification tests are over, but don't forget about me, okay? Please, visit again sometime. Goodbye! Hi!
Good morning.
Kasumi,
Well...
have you been sleeping well? You look kind of tired. It might not be my place to ask, but are you okay? What do you mean?
No.
Nothing. Never. Joining the Phantom Thieves. Reminds me, tomorrow's the school festival, isn't it? Is your class finished with preparations? It feels kind of nice, working with everyone to put all the things together. I hope we'll have fun tomorrow. I'm going to do some training today, so please excuse me. She gets a nice scene at the festival.
Hey.
Oh, you mean Akechi, right? I kinda saw that coming. Everyone I know voted for him. Didn't he say he wasn't gonna make any more appearances though? Why did he agree to come here? Probably because he has to do with the Phantom Thieves. Wasn't Akechi going around saying how evil they were before? Oh yeah, that proves they're connected to our school somehow then. Hey, you're right.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes people have a hard time remembering what's real and what's exaggerated. This kind of stuff happens to you guys too, right? But there's a reason for this. This phenomenon has a name too.
How about you?
Mariko, my best friend. From a psychological standpoint, what is key reason our memories can differ from reality? Memory bias?
This is it. Right.
Specifically, the name of the phenomenon is called false.
Nice going!
The difference between inaccurate memories and the facts can lead to a lot of confusion. Still, if your subconscious desire manifests as a memory, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. It's memories, huh? But it's totally real to the person, right? A strange concept. Great, right? How'd you do? Dude. Hey, look at that. Look who got the top score. And what score I got? I'm at the top of the class.
Hey!
Oh, Sakura's gonna be so proud. Hey, word from Akechi. Nothing. But tomorrow's the start of the school festival. Will this be okay? If Akechi-kun declines our offer, we won't have a guest. Huh? That's what you're worried about? I appreciate the concern, but it'll be fine. I just need to get Akechi-kun to agree to this somehow. But Joker has so many friends now, he could have brought any of them to. He could have brought like a Yoshida into the class. He could have He could have brought Hoya to class. That's what I would have done.
Welcome home.
Honey, I'm home.
You're back awfully late. How has business been for you lately?
Take a look around. Is the Nijima lady doing well?
Unfortunately, we haven't seen each other lately. We had a difference of opinion.
What are your thoughts, Representative Shido? It doesn't surprise me that people say our country is lethargic. We've let these phantom thieves run amok.
That man's voice.
And because they've targeted only prominent figures, our government leaders have been hesitant to act. I apologize for any concern they may have caused, and will henceforth search for an apt countermeasure.
That politician's really honorable. I like how quick he says he's gonna do everything.
This is an important undertaking, and one I intend to confront with every asset available to me. The selfish criminals enacting this social reform are in fact the ones most deserving of reformation. Answering to the interests of the people as hastily as possible is my natural duty as a politician.
Man, this guy is admirable.
Rampant political scandals, thieves on the loose. As sad as it is, this is the state of our nation. We must resolve this problem, and I assure the people of this noble country that I will do just that.
I feel I've met that man somewhere before.
What are you standing there staring off into space for? You're creeping me out.
You're standing too.
Standing here is my job.
That politician is honest and carries an overwhelming amount of charisma. It feels like a trustworthy leader for Japan has finally come forth. Don't you think, boss?
Sorry, wasn't listening.
Criminals, hmm? Well, that must be how he sees it. However, that is ignorant of their true nature.
You on the thieves' side?
It may be somewhat of a stretch to say I'm on their side. Having said that, I won't deny that I empathize with them on some level. If this Okumura incident was not the Phantom Thieves, if they only changed the hearts of criminals, then even though they can't be considered innocent, perhaps my goals are not so different from theirs.
That's what I've been trying to tell you. Oh no, we had this discussion streams and streams ago. But it seems like they were on the same side. But they are innocent. Don't you see?
I knew there was something special about you. Ever since the first time we met, I feel as though I could tell you anything during our conversations. Oh, that reminds me. I've been invited to a panel at Shujin Academy, and... wait. I'm sure you know that already. Considering it's such a good opportunity, I've decided to accept the offer. Thank you for the coffee. It was delicious.
Glad you liked it.
I'm happy I could see you. I'll be going now.
Kid was going on about some real complicated stuff. He's probably a fair bit smarter than you, huh? He thinks he is. Oh, I didn't notice I got a response from Akechi-kun. He accepted the lecture invitation. Okay. Huh, really? Either way, the real issue is what we do next. The lecture is on the afternoon of the second day, yes? Wait, you're coming to our school festival? It's during my exam week. So I'll be able to go in the afternoon. Can you afford that distraction? How's your studying going? Decent. Incidentally, will the counselor be at the festival as well? Dr. Mark, proud of him. I see. Finally, I shall witness his skills for myself. Perhaps I should prepare a gift. They say first impressions are everything. I don't know if he'll even be there. If anything gets confirmed. Much obliged. Want to come too for Tyler? Seriously? I don't see why not. We should all walk around together tomorrow. It's a perfect time for us to relax. Haru. I just always dreamed of walking around my school festival with friends. Oh, I suppose if you say it like that, I can resign myself to enjoying our time there too. Thanks, Haru. And you! I was drawn in before I knew it. His articulate words moved me to the core. This country's got a first-rate economy with a cut-rate government. He's a rare specimen. Our souls resonate at the same frequency. Oh my god. That is, exceptional people can always recognize one another. You'll see one day. Pompous customer.
Yo. Oh.
You can't judge a book by its cover. I made myself. It's got my finest coffee beans in it. No sleep. Oh, I won't be able to read. Alright, I guess we can hang out with the twins. There's Max. Can't do anything with it. Yeah. Wait, I need to go here.
What would you like?
Do something about it.
Welcome.
Dark side. No Gatora.
Please consider what I have to say.
Take your time.
Man.
They were nothing but robbers.
What do you want?
Touch and go.
Phantom thieves are immoral criminals.
What are you gonna do today?
Now.
Precipitate Tower Battle. It looms high in the heavens, so high that the humans down below will no longer visit with the naked eye. Such a grand structure would be far too dangerous for humans. However, we have a duty to investigate. Does this location sound at all familiar to you? Well, if you know where it is, then escort us there immediately. Skytree?
What'll you do?
I mean Skytree. So, it's named the Skytree, huh? That's pretty impressive sounding. It's no Tower of Babel, but still, quite fun.
Onward, inmate.
Yes, the boldness of the moniker is quite promising. Take us there at once.
Whoa! It's crazy out there.
So, this is the present-day Tower of Babel. Incredible. It appears we underestimated the current extent of the human technology. And the metal box that took us here. My ears were so tortured by its sounds, I thought I would faint. But as a trial for reaching this place, it was mere child's play. Oh my! Look at that tiny thing in the sky, an airplane. They truly do appear to be quite cramped inside. This is quite the view. It almost appears as if we could crush the people below like insects.
Justine!
Look at that. Loud as ever. What is it?
How could this happen?
There's a hole in the floor. Is this some kind of trap? Oh, it's safe.
What was that?
Safe! Yeah. There's a hole in the floor. Does the trap lord overly confident passerby to fall into their doom? We cannot discount the possibility. By the way, inmate, I've heard that this Tower of Babel has a path that leads even higher than where we are now, all the way to the heavens.
Really?
What? Is that true? Take us there, inmate. Well, it doesn't reach all the way to the heavens, but the view is still rather impressive. Yes, you can see well past the city from here, almost to the ends of the earth. However, Caroline, are you attempting to back out of this?
What?
What do you mean by that? Why would I suddenly get scared after already coming so close? Ah, I see. Then why not go even closer and enjoy the view?
Are you joking?
Cut it out. If you want to look so badly, then go do it. Don't mind if I do. Hey, are those kids okay? Where are their parents? Oh, they're just playing around, see? That guy's chaperoning them.
Hey, inmate!
Great. Now we're part of some humiliating misunderstanding. All because you were making such a saint, inmate. What a burden. You are the one who should feel humiliated. What a great view, though. I see how looking down from here can make a person feel like a god. Human desire really knows no bounds, does it? Yes, it is no wonder their hearts grow twisted. They're living in a city fraught with so much desire. Well, we've learned the secret of the Tower of Babel, so we consider this assignment complete. Here is your reward. Karukaja. Rakukaja. Sukukaja. Better keep up this progress, everyone.
Now, let us return.
Now you will accompany us to our return. Okay.
The festival seems to be a success.
There's definitely a lot more people than last year.
Well, yeah. This place got famous and all. The Phantom Thieves, Kamoshida, Principal Kobayakawa. On top of that, we got Akechi as a guest.
There may be police officers in plain clothes, too. Actually, they probably are here. We better be careful about what we discuss. Acting like normal students is going to be important. What do you normally do at a school festival?
Look around at the exhibits and eat stuff?
There's no set rules for this kind of thing. Walk around and hang out, like when we went to the beach.
Hanging out isn't precisely the focus of the school festival.
More importantly,
Buzzkill.
it's possible that both your names have come up during the investigation.
A number of the teachers had been questioned before, and even we were interviewed the other day too.
Don't let your guard down too much. It's true that the initial members have been at this for a long time, making it easier to get tracked.
All right.
Now, let's leave it at that. We just need to be mindful about what we're saying, correct?
Oh,
You seem to be having quite a lot of fun, Haru. You did mention that you were looking forward to this.
I want to go around with everyone and eat at the refreshment stands.
This'll be a great change of pace from all the nasty stuff lately. Shall we head off to the stands then? Oh, right. This is your first time at our school festival.
They're pretty good, from what I've heard.
I know a great one. Follow me. This is the place.
Made takoyaki?
New customers! I'll show you all to your seats.
So, it's your class's stand.
It's still a refreshment stand, isn't it? It's like a deserted island here.
Well, I guess it's good for talking since there aren't any people here.
We heard a lot of rumors even on our way here.
And it was all bullshit.
Here she comes. Act normal.
Who cares? There's nothing normal about this anymore.
Welcome home. May I take your order?
Take my order? What happened to the maid atmosphere?
There are a lot of odd flavors.
Stick to a normal one. I bet they...
I'm so sorry. We sold our last normal one to the previous customer.
The hell?
Well then, I'll have the mentai cheese takoyaki.
I'm sorry. We're out of cod, bro.
Then how about the squid?
We're currently out catching squid. It'll probably take another 5 or 6 hours.
What?
That doesn't even sound remotely possible. Ain't this whole menu just a sham?
Actually, we spent most of our budget on making the maid costumes look nice. We didn't put too much effort into the octopus.
Oh, I can see that.
Ryuji, you're making a scene. Then, what would you recommend with what you have now?
That would be the Russian takoyaki.
We'll have that, please.
This will take a little time.
Let's forget about the octopus and get back on topic.
On that note, hearing Kamoshida being almost treated like a victim makes me want to eat my stress away.
I've even heard conjecture that the principal was targeted for reasons like he knew too much.
I kept hearing about Goro Akechi's popularity.
All thanks to the Phantom Thieves.
You know, did that Akechi guy agree to show up here because he believes we didn't kill anybody?
Or he may simply love large gatherings.
Oh, true. He didn't seem like he minded being pampered by the media at all.
We plan on stealing intel, but we might fall into another trap. I'm gonna be bummed if that happens.
Takoyaki done yet?
You are so carefree. Does it mean that you have nerves of steel in any situation? Still, it doesn't change the fact that we don't know what Akechi-kun is planning.
Thank you for the wait.
Look at Ryuji's face.
It's fresh
He's
made.
disgusted.
Lies. I heard a microwave go off.
Well, it's not like I was expecting crispy takoyaki at a school festival or anything. So, what makes this a Russian takoyaki?
Could there be jam in it as a secret ingredient? That sounds quite delicious.
Well, one of these is special.
One of them's obviously red. That's gotta be the one.
Dude, don't tell me the Russian part means...
It's like going for the obvious one is manly.
Is that so?
I'd prefer the most beautifully shaped one. But all of them are misshapen.
Oh, aren't you all going to eat? I think I'll go for the special one.
Wait, is she honestly going for it?
Do you want to go for the red one?
I'll take it.
Ooh, impressive as always.
Eat your heart out,
Oh,
Rana.
everyone's all here.
The panel isn't until tomorrow, though.
I came to check out the venue. I can't make any mistakes since a lot of people will be present.
Someone's eager.
But people ended up recognizing me. Everyone bombarded me with questions.
That's because you were sloppy.
I grew tired of the baseless rumors they kept bringing up, so I escaped to where there weren't any people. I'm going to have one of these.
The special one!
Let's just call this my performance fee.
But...
It's fine.
It's quite the...
Eating it in one bite is a bad idea.
My throat. This is... oh, my stomach. It burns.
Are you okay? Do you need water?
I'm fine. I just love, spicy stuff.
Hey, does he sound broken to you?
Well then, I'll see you, tomorrow.
Wow, he's really trying to hold it together. He's waddling around like some comedian.
It's like he wants to get picked up for some commercial or something.
But did he truly come to simply check the venue? This isn't good. I keep suspecting every little thing.
I know what you mean. I'm doing the same too. I need to do my best tomorrow. We need to somehow get him to be our source of intel. I'm gonna pull this off no matter what. That Akechi guy, when he got here, didn't he say that everyone's all here? Everyone?
You're just imagining things.
Oh, no, she got a point.
So, I guess we got through all of it okay?
Yes, but the associated mental fatigue was extraordinary. Being cautious takes a lot out of you.
Seriously, I think I'm as tired now as I am after midterms.
I didn't mind any of that. I just love seeing that detective gulp down the special takoyaki.
I had fun as well, since I got to spend time with you all. What would you like to do now, Haru? Walk around a little more? I appreciate the gesture, but I'm satisfied with stopping here. Why don't we go home and rest up? We'll have to deal with Akechi-kun again tomorrow, after all.
I have to agree. What will his next move be? Oh?
Where do you wander off to? Always doing whatever he pleases. Think he's still checking out all the festival stalls?
Let's head back.
Well, I'm sure they'll be fine. This is Yusuke we're talking about. Let's head home. Excuse me. You are Dr. Taro Maruki, aren't you?
Yes. My
name's Yusuke Kitawa. I'm a student at the Fine Arts Division at Kosei High. I do apologize for interrupting your day, but ever since Ryuji and Ann first spoke of you, I've grown quite intrigued. Now I wish to speak with you as well. Oh, Sakamoto-kun, Takanaki-san.
Quite.
Well, I'm flattered that you've been an interest to me. You're here about the counseling, correct?
Indeed.
Correct. Now, teach me how to unshackle the human heart and glimpse into its endless abyss.
Hold on.
Hold on, man. How should I put this? Your enthusiasm is appreciated, but I suspect there's a huge misunderstanding about what I do. I apologize. I simply couldn't contain my excitement. Would you still permit me to witness your counseling skills in action? That's not really allowed.
How
about it.
How about this? You ready, Sam? Why not try out counseling yourself instead? Me? Of course. There's no charge.
Well then.
I shall go head to head. I'm not sure what you think happens in counseling, but there won't be any of that. I see, so you are Madarame-san's. It's in the past. How curious. I never imagined counseling to be like this.
Well,
I'd say it's less than counseling and more about building a rapport. When someone first comes to see me, we always start with them telling me a bit about themselves. A method of self-reflection that relies on speaking with another person so as to sort through one's own emotions. That's rather similar to the internal cross-examination I perform when I'm working on my art. There really shouldn't be any cross-examining in a proper counseling session. I just do my best to guide patients in a positive direction so they can improve their lives. At the very least, I talk them through their problems so they can make correct choices for themselves.
I see.
However, if you're the one leading them to their conclusions, are they truly making the choices for themselves? Isn't that just submitting to another person's will? In all honesty, I'm sure there are people out there who think that. But life in this world confines people to certain frames of mind sometimes, and without them even realizing it. If I can help lift the weight off their shoulders and free their minds, I believe the results are worth it.
Indeed. Thank you.
Very much for speaking with me. This has been a most valuable experience.
Oh, yes.
Before you go, Kitagwako, what would you say is your greatest wish in life at the moment? Would it be success as an artist? No, it's not it. The only desire I have for my art is for it to improve through my own efforts. I see. Then what would you wish for? I would wish for the world to see my mother's painting for the masterpiece that it is, no matter how briefly. And if at all possible, I would also wish to meet a wonderful master, one who would take me in and guide my brush with care. I see.
All right. Thank you.
At any rate, I must be going now. So please, excuse me. I hope we meet again someday.
Well then.
Apologies for suddenly disappearing like that. The legend of the Lost and Eye has come to an end. I saw a man who resembled Dr. Maruki, so I went to see him. So he was there? Yes. It was certainly not what I was expecting. Once this is all over, I think I'd like to go to another session. I'll do my best. Are you all at home? Yeah. You still at school, Yusuke? No. I just got back to the dorm. I'm fine and getting ready for bed. The kitchen keeps pounding. Just stay focused now. I'm going to stick out no matter what he says. Right. I'll keep that in mind. There's much information. Okay. Alright. Cannot leave it alone. Let's do some reading.
Hey!
Make sure your clothes up.
Release all your shame and love. Fill with your heart and soul. Wonder.
Whoa.
A woman's heart is deep and ever changing, like the colors of the autumn sky.
Well then, we will now begin today's panel. Our guest of honor is Goro Akechi.
I feel kind of bad considering how many people have gathered. I'm sure you all would have been happier to have a singer or a mascot appear, wouldn't you say?
We'd appreciate if you could tell us about your experiences with the notorious Phantom Thieves. It'd be wonderful if you could let us hear more about your actual investigative process.
I'm not used to being the one interrogated, so please go easy on me.
How much do you think he knows?
He talks about the Phantom Thieves are dangerous, yet he says they haven't committed any murders. Either he has an idea who the true culprit is, or he has uncovered the identities of the Phantom Thieves.
Come on, Makoto. You gotta get it out of him.
As much as you're allowed to say, would you tell us how far along your investigation is on them?
Getting right to the point, I see. Well, if it's as much as I'm allowed to say, then everything on TV and the internet is all of it. We don't have any leads yet, and the methods behind their crimes are still unclear.
I see. Even with this country's power, arresting them is proving to be difficult. Is that the case?
I wouldn't phrase it that way, but, well, something like that.
Thank you for answering that question. By the way, it seems you've denied a correlation between the Phantom Thieves and the murders. Why the sudden change? Until now, haven't you upheld your stance that the Phantom Thieves are dangerous? How are you so positive that they haven't committed murder?
Aren't you a little too comfortable interrogating people? Why, it's as if you're a prosecutor.
Excuse me. This is something I've personally been interested in, so I couldn't help it. But won't you tell us? What reason is there that you'd claim their innocence when you previously stated they were unjust?
Mako-chan's really pressing for an answer.
She's pelting him with questions.
Every person whose heart they changed have truly been criminals, including Okumura. Why then was he the only one who needed to be killed?
Why is that?
I must admit, I couldn't deduce a reason. That's why I believe that case should be thought of as if a different party is responsible. And if, this is all hypothetical, mind you, if the Phantom Thieves are the ones I know of, I can't possibly imagine they would kill anyone.
Your comment just now, does this mean the police have already identified who they are?
Oh, no. The police haven't gotten that far yet. But I have my own conclusions about the true identities of the Phantom Thieves.
He's gotta be bluffing.
Pipe down. He's lying, right? But if it's the truth...
You're not going to ask me who they are?
It may have repercussions on the investigation. Are you sure you can share that with us?
It's only my personal opinion, so announcing that here wouldn't pose a problem. However, there is a possibility that everyone present will hear the truth before the police or media.
The truth? What's he planning on saying?
That's quite the confidence you have. If you're so certain, then very well. I'd like to ask you then, who do you think the Phantom Thieves are, Akechi-san?
That idiot!
No. There's no way he could have any evidence.
They're people you all know quite well. The identity of the Phantom Thieves are... it's mine. I apologize for the interruption, but I can't turn off my phone due to my job. Would you mind if I step away for about 10 minutes or so?
I'm terribly sorry, everyone, but we'll be taking a break. We'll resume the panel in 10 minutes.
Please don't troll me online for this interruption, okay? Is there a room I may use?
There's the PE faculty office.
I want you to come too. There's a matter I want to discuss. Your friends from yesterday are here, aren't they? Can you bring them too, if that's all right?
Did you set this up?
We only have 10 minutes, you know.
Son of a bitch.
What do you want to talk about?
No! That's gotta be shopped! I have video footage too. Please, let's not feign ignorance. All of you can go to that other world too, yes?
Us too?
It's not just all of you. I am aware of that world too. I also know that when you traverse over there, your appearance changes as well. It's because of those mysterious powers, isn't it? I found out about that world about a month ago. This had been installed onto my phone without my knowledge. Dude, it's the nav. When the app activated on its own, the scenery around me suddenly changed. Quite frankly, I still can't believe it myself. But from the look of these photos, all of you seem quite used to it.
We've been listening to you blab on for a while now, but cut the delusional...
All of you are acting as phantom thieves in the metaverse. I can say so with conviction because I have the same power as you.
That's right.
So you admit it then. In all honesty, I've been curious about you since the time of the Madarame case. But to think it would end up like this.
We didn't kill anyone!
I believe that as well.
How can you be so sure?
Because I saw another. The real culprit.
For real?
Who was it?
I couldn't identify his face. He had a mask on, after all. Actually, when I took these photos, I entered that world too. That's when I saw someone else moving about, besides all of you. He shot at me the moment he noticed me.
That's who killed President Okumura?
Most likely. At the very least, I was almost killed by him. I can't die here. I need to determine the truth. When those thoughts overcame me, I awakened to that power. A most fortunate accident.
This guy has a persona too?
This cat. I swear, it just talked.
Morgana, our teammate who taught us about the metaverse.
Really? This is unbelievable. But it is true that you know things that I don't. Say, Morgana, were you also the one who instructed them on how to change people's hearts? I experienced that world too. But I still haven't solved that mystery yet.
We go in the metaverse, we call them palaces, to steal the core of their desires, their treasure. And those whose treasure has been stolen have a change of heart.
Ah. Well, there's certainly no way anyone could figure out such an MO.
Anyways, back to what you were talking about. Are we in this mess because of that guy?
Although I don't completely understand the method, all you do is simply reform people. Someone else is behind the murders. However, the police have decided that the Phantom Thieves did it. They'll arrest you at this rate.
They're going to treat me as my father's murderer?
I can't overlook such a grave mistake, which is precisely why I want us to strike a deal. I may be able to save you from this situation.
A deal?
I would like you to cooperate with me on investigating the truth.
And if we decline?
Then I think I'll have to inform the police about all of you, along with that video I mentioned.
This ain't no deal, it's blackmail!
Say what you will. This is the method that I believe is correct. The justice I uphold will not tolerate criminals who kill people at their leisure.
Justice.
You've heard that Sai-san is the one spearheading the investigation about you Phantom Thieves, correct? The higher-ups are concerned only with settling the case. They want to capture the culprits behind the psychotic breakdown incidents and end the commotion. Those are the ones who are putting pressure on Sai-san. I can only imagine her impatience.
What of evidence that we did it? How do they intend on proving it?
Even if there's no objective explanation to the method, It's over once causality is established. Sai-san can't make rational judgments at the moment. If she were to be cornered, well, she may even make up a confession.
Make it up?
So, they're gonna make it all our fault? Just because they feel like it?
We haven't killed anyone, though! And we're still going to be arrested?
You'll be found guilty if you're caught. And it will be treated as a very serious crime.
Bullshit! None of that makes any sense!
Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do alone anymore to stop the flow of things.
And that's why you want our cooperation.
Yes. In return, I'll turn a blind eye to what you've done. Those are my conditions. That said, I ask that you disband the Phantom Thieves after this.
What should we do about Akechi-san's proposal?
Is that the only way?
I can understand how you feel. It must be hard making a decision on the spot like this. Well, you don't have to decide at the moment. Considering this is you we're talking about, I believe you'll come to a favorable reply. I'm glad we could talk. It's been a while since I've been able to spend such a meaningful time like this. I look forward to your answer. It was definitely worth coming today. For various reasons. We should be getting back. About that. I'm sorry. Would it be acceptable if we ended the panel here? The reason why you called for me in the first place was because you wanted intel, correct? My business is concluded as well.
I'll deal with it somehow.
What a scumbag.
Damn it! He had complete control over us!
Hey, they're going.
I'm sorry about the sudden break. An urgent task came in. So, I truly apologize about this. But I'll have to end things here today.
To make up for the time that was planned for this panel, the Rakugo Research Club will instead be...
I can't say anything in detail regarding the Phantom Thieves investigation. But I feel another great stride will occur again soon. I hope you all continue to pay attention to what happens.
Let's have a big round of applause for today's guest, Goro Akechi. Was that really our best course of action?
He totally used Makoto's suggestion against us.
Indeed. We intended to get intel out of him, but to think it would play out like this.
So what? We'll just accept his deal?
He's got evidence on us. We really don't have a choice.
Damn it! What are we gonna do?
Calm down, Ryuji.
How am I supposed to calm down? What are we gonna do?
What's done is done. We'll have to cool our heads and think more on this. We must make up our minds by the time he contacts us again.
We need to give this a lot of thought.
Similar occurrences followed in succession earlier this spring. Although things have quieted down until recently, several incidents have occurred once again. Furthermore, new information has come to light about the suspect who suffered sudden mental shutdown. He had received a calling card from the Phantom Thieves.
Why did Futaba have something like this?
If a calling card was delivered, we can only assume that the Phantom Thieves are behind it. If so, those occurrences back in spring can be attributed to them as well. Moreover...
I knew it. She's... Oh, God.
Uh-oh. Things are unraveling quickly.
The post-festival party is about to begin in the gymnasium. Please join us, everybody.
Post-festival party? I thought this thing was over. Nobody invited you to it, so let's just go home.
Huh? Senpai, aren't you going to the post-festival party?
I was about to head out.
Since we've run into each other on our own, why not go together? People say these kinds of events should be enjoyed with others, so let's go have some fun.
Okay.
It seems like it's already begun. Let's get in there, Senpai!
I like this scene.
And now, it's time for your favorite Shuji tradition. The Student Sharing Special! But, before that, we've decided to change things up this year. We've got a huge surprise for you all. Members of the dance club, come on down. Now everybody, join in! Don't fall behind the dance club by yourself!
Just standing around while everyone dances is embarrassing. Senpai, let's do it!
It's showtime!
Very impressive, Senpai.
And now that you're all warmed up, let's switch up the music!
Hey, you're Yoshizawa-san, right? The first year? We've got a little favor to ask you.
Got it. I'm in. Senpai, I'll be back soon. They've asked me to help them with something. Just wait here and watch what happens.
Yo, who's that? Huh?
That's crazy.
I left the part of Kasumi to cool off a bit outside.
That was so exhausting, but what a blast! I feel like I danced my heart out back there. Thank you.
Wow, that dance was amazing.
I know, right? I was totally blown away. It's my dad. He's telling me to come home before it gets too late. Sorry to leave you like this, but I have to get going.
Want me to walk you?
Thank you. I'll be all right, though. The post-festival party was so much fun, especially with you. See you soon!
Because nothing. Would you like to go together? I tried to think about having earlier, but that has got me nowhere. So, I could use a change of pace. How about it? So I received some messages. Yeah. Want to go to the post-festival party and try to calm down? Can't really decide on what Akechi was saying anyways. I'm still pretty pissed though. Well, Mishima's here with you should join us. How about Haru?
Alright, that was a great performance by the dance club. Everybody give them another round of applause.
I'm sorry. I can't stop thinking about what Akechi-kun said.
You'll be alright.
It feels like nothing bad could ever happen when you say that.
And now it's time for your favorite Shujin tradition, the Student Sharing Special! Round of applause, everyone!
Sharing? I never knew we had such an event.
All right, who has something to say? Anyone? Anyone? No? I'll just have to pick someone then.
Oh, he's going to choose? I wonder who it would be.
How about that fluffy-haired girl over there? I choose you!
Fluffy-haired girl.
Huh? Is he looking this way?
Well then, come on up.
He's talking to me, isn't he?
You're the only one with fluffy hair.
Oh,
Come, come! Everyone's waiting!
well, I'm going.
And your name is? Wait, you're Akumura-san?
Yes.
I'm sure you're, still grieving. My, deepest apologies.
Oh, please don't worry.
So, do you have anything you'd like to share with us?
Something to share. I have too many things.
Here, let me give you a question then. Do you think the Phantom Thieves are really Shujin students?
Huh? Oh?
Man, he's going in for the kill.
I mean, they are, your father's killers.
Oh, man.
We're all dying to know what Akechi-kun was going to say about their true identities. So, are they from Shujin? What do you think, Okumura-san?
I was in trouble. I need to change the subject.
Well,
I've always loved you.
Now this is drama! A boy caught in the throes of bittersweet youth! A stunning confession of love!
wow, way to go!
I think it was him!
Wait!
So, Akumura-san, what's your relation to this guy?
That wasn't what we were talking about!
My, she's quite flustered! Is this a hot scoop? But I'm a gentleman. It hurts my heart to bully such a sweet girl. Well, did you all enjoy our blushing beauty? Thank you very much, Okumura-san.
Just when it was getting interesting.
The post-festival party is finally over. It turned out to be more like an interview party, huh? I still can't believe you said that. Huh? Right. At any rate, I'm not sure what I would have done without you. Thank you for saving me. You're a mysterious person, but you're so reliable. I think the two of us will get along quite well in the future. As they say, who knows what may lie ahead? For now, I'm worried about what happened with Akechi-kun. But I have to say, my first post-festival party was quite fun. Though, I guess it's my last too. Here, I'd like you to have this.
Sakura.
I bought it earlier. Now then, let's go home.
Welcome home. You took off somewhere during the festival, huh? I tried to find you, but I gave up pretty quickly.
Futaba? What are you doing here in front of the store?
I needed to calm my brain. My thoughts were getting out of hand. Not just Akechi, but other stuff too. We're in deep trouble unless we can do something soon. But anyway, I was just thinking about going inside, so your timing is perfect. Let's go.
Oh, we could finally rest.
The mass media has been causing quite a commotion lately. No countermeasure for the Phantom Thieves, the sorry state of the police, destruction of safety. They're saying whatever they want. So, how's the investigation progressing? Any clues yet?
Nothing that leads to a firm conviction yet.
What's going on here? Didn't you say that you were sure about closing this case? And I thought I told you that failure won't be tolerated.
You just gave her the assignment like yesterday.
This is troublesome. If things continue at this rate, never mind a promotion. We'd have to let you go entirely.
But sir...
I had high expectations for you. But it seems this task was too much to handle for someone so young. We may need to reform the operation as well, since the selected personnel for this...
Please, let me see this through to the end. This case is something that I've always...
I know that you've been at this for a while now. Even before the police spared us the staff for it. If you can manage an arrest, I've made special arrangements so that you can question them personally. That's what you want, isn't it? The leadership of this country is about to change. We can't let this case carry over into their term. I'll make myself clear again. Failure isn't an option. We need results.
I understand.
You're allowed to take some bold measures if you need to. We need good results, no matter what. Oh, one more thing. If the unexpected happens to occur, contact me immediately.
To you, sir?
I said that failure isn't an option, didn't I?
What does that mean?
Yes. Everything is proceeding as planned.
We're home! Sojiro?
I was cleaning up and found this. This is a calling card, right? I read about it online, too.
You went into my room without my permission?
I'll apologize as much as you want later. So, what is this?
That's...
Is it something to get flustered over? I knew it. This isn't just some game you're playing. Why aren't you saying anything?
Why did you keep it? I mean, it was memorable.
Explain.
Explain.
Can't tell me?
Explain. Hey, if this keeps up, Futaba's...
I'm talking to Futaba here, you know. I'll get right to the point. Is this a real one? Did they trigger a change of heart in you?
Oh no.
How about it?
Ever since Mom died, there was no exit. I was trapped in a labyrinth of my heart. I knew I had to leave it, but I couldn't do it by myself.
Futaba. Here, sit down. I can at least listen to what you have to say.
The Phantom Thieves saved me. They stole my messed up heart. It's the same as Mom's research. They changed my cognition.
Seriously? Wakaba's research about altering one's cognition. I wondered about it myself, too. Still. When she said she was going to go to the beach out of nowhere, and even the doctors had thrown in the towel. At first, I just chalked it up as other kids being a better support for you than any adult. But as I kept watching the tabloid shows here, day in and day out, a thought crossed my mind. I thought your case kind of seemed similar to what these Phantom Thieves were doing.
Wow.
I'm still your guardian, you know. I'd never overlook such a drastic change in your behavior.
Sojiro.
But to think that Wakaba's research and the Phantom Thieves changing hearts were about the same thing. Back in the day, I used to be a government official. My job was to be the bridge between the country and the lab that Wakaba worked at. It's around that time that I got to know her. She said something odd when we were out drinking, that one of these days, she might die a bizarre death. Who wouldn't take that as a joke? I just laughed it off. But it happened exactly as she said. If anything were to happen to you, I'd feel like I let her down. There's something I want to ask you. Judging from your attitude, you knew about this calling card, didn't you? You should have known that Futaba had a change of heart through the Phantom Thieves as well. Is there a connection between you and them? The first incident of a change of heart was a teacher at your school. The kid who brought that painting here was a pupil of that artist who had a change of heart, wasn't he? And then there's Futaba. You always seem to be linked to these incidents somehow. Got anything to say?
You're sharp.
You think this is a game? You know what people call them? Criminals. Why did you introduce such dangerous people to Futaba?
That's not true! I asked them! That's why he saved me! He stole my heart!
Asked? Stole? Wait, are you saying that he's the one who changed your heart? Wait, he doesn't just deal with the Phantom Thieves, he's actually one of them? You're pulling my leg, aren't you?
This is no joke.
Are you serious? You really are a Phantom Thief? Oh, for crying out loud!
Sojiro!
So, basically, I've been sheltering a Phantom Thief for the last 6 months. And on top of that, Futaba's involved too. What the hell?
The hell?
I want to find the culprit who killed my mom!
Wait, killed?
She was killed! I remember it now!
Stop this nonsense!
Why won't you believe me? Are you the same as everyone else? Didn't you know already? The way Mom died wasn't normal! Didn't you notice that her research was stolen by someone? Sojiro!
When she passed away, I did think it was odd. It was awfully fishy. But what could I do? All I was able to do was run from it all. Run away, hide, and end up here as some old guy running a cafe. To be frank, I took you in for my own good. Like it'd somehow make up for what I'd done. It's basically my fault that you got burdened with all this crap.
It's not your fault, Sojiro.
I acted all big, lectured, even yelled at you kids. And I end up getting consoled by her. God, real pathetic, aren't I?
That's not true.
I mean, the one who killed Mom's the one at fault!
I see. Don't worry. Even if you are the real Phantom Thieves, I have no intention of reporting or kicking you out. I mean, who would believe such a story? Unless they catch you red-handed, it's impossible to explain that you're the Phantom Thieves. Let me just say one thing, though. Immediately back out of a fight that you can't win.
What do you mean?
Don't you get it? If, by chance, you pissed off the same guys that killed Wakaba, then they're not someone that kids like you can deal with. Listen to reason, all right? We're done talking about this. Come on. Time to eat. All that yelling's gotten me hungry.
Whew. If he turned us in, that would have jeopardized our operation.
You
Still,
think?
we should tell the others about what just happened. Oh, I'm tired.
He knows everything? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Wait, are you okay? Did you report you or anything? We likely wouldn't be receiving these messages if Ren was not okay. I had a feeling that boss was no ordinary man. But he did recommend you turn yourself in, did he? I think in that case we can consider him a new ally. I'm more curious about what he mentioned to you. I mean, how our enemy might be the same people who targeted Wadaba's mother? Yes, she was killed by mental shutdown. The same method used by the culprit we pursue now. So didn't you say boss had to run from it all? Does that mean someone was trying to stop the news from getting out? Who could do that? Who do you think the culprit could be? Someone very powerful. But it would make sense. Wait a sec. If you're right, wouldn't the police be working for him too? That's not possible. This is getting too big for me to even think about it. Can we really
We're gonna
Yes.
win, no matter what.
Chief had an inkling after all. Aw, Futaba staying in my room. Should keep me safe at night.
I should write something.
I'm good thirsty too. Alright. We're getting to the heart of the game. The main storyline points here. So these are the streams to keep a close eye on. Alright. If I'm not on tomorrow, probably Monday again. And I think we'll end up in the next palace by then. Should be an interesting one. Well, have a good night. Yeah, see you later.